people, it's your boy Osman back again with another Rival Fan podcast. Listen, there's a lot to discuss this week. We have got two Arsenal fans on for the first time since their audacious Smith Rowe and Saka claims. But nevertheless, hopefully Kojo will be joining me, so I won't be outnumbered in that department. But, listen, let's just get into it. As always, you know what to do. Get your comments in, drop a like, subscribe to the channel, everyone's socials, to the Twitter handles are down below in the description. So please follow everyone and obviously support them on their journey and their content as well. Nevertheless, let's get into the panel. First and foremost, our homie is back. No longer ill, well, not as bad as he was. So that's obviously good to hear. Cahil is in the building. Cahil, how you doing, my guy?
All good, bro. I still refrain the idea of selling somebody for £80 million isn't it's a lot of money. I don't understand it, bro. But it is what it is. I'm all good, man.
Okay, good to have you back. Listen, returning as well, we got our homie in the building. Basil also is here. Basil, how you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good. I'm glad to be back. I'm glad that I saw my enemies, Chelsea United, crash and burn on the weekend. Even Arsenal a chance to win the title. So, any hope is good hope for us.
Wow. I love how you couldn't say that with a straight face, but I rate it. Man tried to say it with chest, but then, he just had to start laughing halfway through it. But listen, last but not least, we've got the homie on. I did meet him very recently, but nevertheless, I've been a massive fan of the content he was just telling us about the new setup. So make sure you check that out as well. We've got the homie repping Chelsea. Alexis is in the building. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. I was a lot better when you asked me to come because I thought we were going to slap you 4-0.
Yeah, legit, I was thinking that as well, I was like...
But I think it'll be a more measured approach today. Deflect FC.
Oh my God! When I invited you last week, I was like, "We need to get a Chelsea fan on because obviously they're probably going to beat us. I got to have a Chelsea representation here." You know what I'm saying? Because Daniel sadly can't make it on the reg anymore because he's too busy. Basically, Daniel, if you're watching this, you wait. No, I'm joking. But listen, Daniel hasn't spoken to me actually after the game, so I'm very intrigued to hear from a Chelsea's perspective. We are going to start with the Ballon d'Or. Obviously, no puns intended with Jorginho. Great assist from him on the weekend. Fair play to him. So I personally am a bit disappointed he's not got higher because, I thought he warranted after that performance. But listen, Kay, let's come to you first and foremost. Of course, no Arsenal players representing, no shot there. Just very quickly, what are thoughts on the Ballon d'Or? Is there some people...
You pagan, bro.
I have to take shots, but my team's so dead, man. I need to. But yeah, listen, we're gonna quickly brush upon the Ballon d'Or. So obviously, get your comments in regarding that matter. But Kale, we'll start with you. Top five, I believe. Kante fifth, Karim Benzema fourth, Jorginho third, Lewandowski second, and Lionel Messi winning once again. Kale, what did you make of the rankings?
Lionel Messi once just finally cementing his legacy as the best player to ever play football. Simple as it. Ronaldo can't chat anymore. He's got what he, especially after that interview came out with him and Piers Morgan said he just wanted, he has to win one more than Messi. He has to win one more than Messi. But sadly he'll never do that because he's at Manchester United right now. But yeah, man. To be brutally honest, Lewandowski got bumped. Is that simple as that. He should have won it last year, but they bumped him then, and they bumped him now because he's been on fire for 2 straight years, and he absolutely deserved this one. But is what it is, man. Messi all the way. The GOAT.
Yeah, fair enough. Listen, that's a cheeky dig at you, Dad. I like that. I like it, Kale. Fighting talk. You're gonna need that for the preview a bit later on in the show. Obviously, a big game for the top 4 race, so to speak. Or in your case, obviously your title credentials. Basil, speaking of title credentials, what are your thoughts on the Ballon d'Or? Obviously, Kale made it very clear that Messi is the GOAT. I'm sure you agree with that statement, but what are your thoughts on Lewandowski? Because for me, he got robbed, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's mad because obviously they still completed the season last season. So for them to cancel it, it made no logical sense. I can understand maybe the season didn't continue and you say you didn't get a full season, but they still had a full season and they just basically it's because of money. They knew they couldn't get all the branding and everyone in because of all the isolations and the fact that people couldn't fly over. And so basically money ruled everything and they realized we're not going to profit or gain as much money as we would. So just cancel the whole thing. And then this year, obviously, as you said, Messi is the GOAT. There's no contention in regards to that statement. It's a funny one because this has been low key. And I'd like to say this: it's actually a travesty that Jorginho was even.
I heard you go in there.
Actual travesty that Jorginho was even nominated in the top.
Who's hating, bro? Relax. He's spitting facts.
He's spitting facts, man.
Hey, you're just jealous he's better than Partey.
I'm not actually.
Let me end on this note. When people watch Jorginho's highlight reels, they will question why on earth he was in that top 3 in the first place. Because they'll say, is this what it takes to be nominated top 3 Ballon d'Or? His highlight reels will be one of the worst top 3 Ballon d'Or highlight reels you will see in the history of Ballon d'Or. One of
these, bro. Don't be kind, bro.
Wow, Alexis. I mean, it's only right. As someone who has 2 players in the top 5, what are your thoughts on Arsenal players, Arsenal fans even talking about footballers being ranked?
I love it. They're talking from outside of the club. Like, they can't even enter the club, and they're talking about from outside.
Yeah, it's that Chris Brown reference.
All right, Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Moving like you're at the WizKid concert last night.
But all jokes aside, I think I wouldn't have said Jorginho should win it. I did it for the hype, did it for the propaganda. You have to throw your punches here and there. But realistically speaking, Messi should have won it only purely because of the fact. It's like if you watch the NBA, LeBron should win it every year, but you don't give it to him because it'll get boring and predictable. There's been so many years where Messi should have won it. He didn't win it. He had a big achievement for himself. He's ticked something off his list. He carried that Barcelona side last year, even though they weren't that bad. But with the Jorginho thing, the one thing I would say, the highlight reel is not great, but that's because he's a defensive midfielder. He's a regista. Like, either this award's for attackers only, or you're gonna have to have defensive highlight. You're gonna have to have highlight reels
but then again, Kante, he's not saying he's defensive. He's obviously box to box, but he's not great going. He's not exceptional going forward.
I'll be honest about Kante.
And his highlight reel is much better than
Modric
Jorginho.
does that too. Modric gets back and forth, so he does a bit more than just sitting, and then you can see what he does in the final third.
But the year Modric won it, that was fraud as well. Eden Hazard should have won it that year.
Hazard?
No. Hazard came third in the thing. Hazard had a better year than Modric that year.
I think Messi should have won it that year, to be honest.
Wait, what year did it?
18, right?
World Cup 2018.
Yeah, 2018. Hazard had a better World Cup, and he won the Europa League. I think Modric just got to the final, didn't he?
Hazard had a better World Cup.
Wait,
Hazard was the best player in that World
Bro,
Cup.
yeah, you got your rose tinted Hazard glasses on.
Hazard was the best player in that World Cup.
Modric was definitely better than Hazard.
He wasn't.
Get to the final, win the Champions League, and win La Liga.
Yeah,
I don't think they won La Liga that year, did they?
I think they.
I think when Morata just came and scored 20 for no reason. I said no reason.
What year was it again? 2018.
I might be wrong with my timeline, innit?
No, you're wrong with the date because it was. What year was it? Was Brazil 2018?
No. 2018 was Russia.
That was Russia.
Russia 2018.
Yeah.
I thought Messi should have won it that year, to be honest. But that was just.
Anyway, Hazard should not have won it.
No, but the way I'm saying it regarding we'll go back to the Jorginho thing, innit? I think this award's skewed towards goals. Like, it's skewed towards the headlines. It's skewed towards the star players being from that position. No one can look at Kante and Jorginho and say they didn't have a fantastic year last year. For me, Jorginho had the better year. But, yeah, the right man won it. Like, I'm not even going to sit here and argue. The right man definitely won it.
All right, Fernando. Kojo, we'll pass it to you last but not least. Obviously, you've heard a bit of what the guys have said. What are your thoughts very quickly, and then we'll move on to that the Premier League talk.
Yeah, I think Lewandowski should have won it. But I mean, he got stopped last year. I said it on Free Midfielder today that if it was Messi or Ronaldo that was favourite last year for the Ballon d'Or, that trophy would not have been stopped. It would have been one of theirs to take. So that's another discussion for another day. But I think it should have been Lewandowski. I think Messi, even doing statistics, I think he scored 41 goals in the calendar year. Or so, whereas Lewandowski scored 41 goals in the league alone. I know that's not a whole calendar year, but you know that is as to how superb he is. Either way, look, Messi's won it. It's number 7 for him. The guy's legacy was already secured at number 3, let alone number 4, 5, 6. So number 7 just adds to it. But yeah, I expected it anyway. I said I think it should be.
Just to add to what Kojo said, I think Lewandowski has a good chance of winning the next one, just because when you look at the amount of goals he scored already this season, it's quite a high number of goals compared to everyone else in Europe. So,
bro, I think everyone's waking up to Bundesliga tax. I genuinely think that's going into consideration.
I don't think Lewandowski's.
I hear that, but then that year he won. Like, obviously, you can't win the 2021 Ballon d'Or for we did in 2020, but the accolades should add up. If we're doing over that kind of span, I think it should be over a 2-year span rather than just
plus this whole Bundesliga tax. I don't get you. I don't understand how you think like Robert Lewandowski wouldn't bang in any other league. He's going to a top team regardless. He's going City. He's going Chelsea. He's going Liverpool.
I'm not saying he won't score. I'm just saying
goals,
would he score as many goals? The thing is,
he's getting 30 plus. He's
I'm
getting
not gonna
30
lie
plus.
to you, I'll be honest, innit? Sancho, I thought was gonna come in, hit the ground running. Werner, I thought was gonna get goals, be a shit player but get goals. I thought Kai would be better than he is. Like, and you're seeing good players in that league put like great performance, and they come and they're good, but they're settling in for.
I understand that, but what Lewandowski has, which they don't, is experience. Lewandowski's in the prime of his career. You can say Kai isn't. You can definitely say Sancho isn't. You can say Timo. I don't think Timo Werner is ever going to be good, but because his recent displays have been awful. But he's also not in the prime of his career, so you have to just give him time.
Yeah.
I mean, for me personally, I've heard what everyone said. I personally think Lewandowski should have won it. I know everyone's saying Messi. We've got 3 Messi and 2 Lewandowski. I just think he got robbed last year, and then this year he still scored 50 plus goals, if I'm not mistaken. And I understand people say Bundesliga tax, but at the same time, it's just a bit harsh, I think, for me personally. Messi was in the Spanish league. Of course, Spanish league is far superior, but the way the team was set up around him with Xavi and Iniesta and goal, he was always going to succeed at that season. And I'm not saying that what Messi hasn't achieved isn't phenomenal, because he's my favourite player of all time as well. But I just think it's a bit of a shit argument to put that against Lewandowski. I think he's been robbed, personally. But at the end of the day, Messi's the greatest player of all time. It's not that deep either way, innit? Fair play to Jorginho. I don't know how he's got into third, but it is what it is. And if you win trophies, apparently you get that. But listen, let's move on from that. I'm surprised Ramsdale's not in there, to be fair, the way Arsenal fans rate him.
Next year, don't worry, bro. Goalkeeper of the year. Goalkeeper of the year, trust me.
Yes. I should hope so, the way but listen, let's quickly get everyone's thoughts on Rangnick. So obviously, the way I want to do the podcast, I'm going to just throw a topic out, obviously ask someone a question, and whoever wants to basically piggyback on the back of what that person said, feel free to just jump in, so to speak. We're going to start with the rival fans, Kojo, obviously. We'll come to you, Basil, first, to start with Cahil last time. Basil, what are your thoughts? Obviously, Rangnick has officially been announced today. We're not sure if he's going to be in charge for our game against you, but nevertheless, he has taken over Ali, which of course you guys must be buzzing about. What are your thoughts on Rangnick's appointment, Basil?
I don't know. I feel like it's one of those appointments where people hear it, people do their research, and then people go on like they know the guy, because everyone has been going on like he's going to ultimately transform United. And I'm not sure if that's the case. I think he's a great man in terms of spotting talent when you look at the players he sort of brought through. Where his players identified and brought at the clubs that he's been at. But he hasn't really managed a top team when you consider it. Now, managing the likes of Leipzig and co is very different to managing Manchester United. So we don't know how he's going to be able to adapt to the players he has, and also deal with some of the egos that are there. Because when you play at Manchester United, you have players who have a sense of entitlement. And that's a different kettle of fish to manage than players who are at smaller clubs or upcoming clubs. And he hasn't managed in football for a while. So that's also another big question as to, how well is he going to be able to fit his ideals into the way the game is going now. I'll be honest, I don't know. I think it's still a bit of an unknown as to how he's going to manage this United team. But it seems like everyone's jumping on the bandwagon that, he's going to ultimately transform United, which I find kind of silly, if I'm being brutally honest, considering the fact that he hasn't managed for a while. But I don't know. I still hope United don't do well. I still don't think they'll do well, because I think they still got certain players who just are not good enough. So I generally see him finishing 6th or 7th with United when all is said and done.
Whoa.
Wow, 6 and 7. Okay,
I'm rating it, bro. I'm rating it.
Okay, I'm rating. At least you said it. At least you said it with chest. I feel like I should let Kojo speak before Alexis comes in on this one. Kojo, what are your thoughts on might not finishing 6th or 7th?
Hey, no, you know, we are inconsistent as hell, so it's not even inconceivable. But nah, I don't think we'll finish 6 or 7. I think we'll be near enough. Well, 6 is near top 4, really, but I think we're talking about 3rd, 4th, 5th for United, one of those places. Firstly,
you're not getting 3rd, bro.
No, you finishing 3rd above?
No. I said 3rd, 4th, 5th, as in like maybe run those spots.
All right, just say 4th and 5th then.
Yes, say 4th.
Okay, listen, I'm not getting heat from Gooners. Let's stop this. Anyway, as we continue, no, he's tactically flexible. He's not scared to change things within game. He's very good with bringing through talent in terms of identifying and buying as well. He's got a good history with that kind of thing. He's not just managers as well. He's brought from some good talent, found some, and a lot of them we've seen in the Premier League and the Bundesliga today. Not sure about other leagues. So yeah, I'm not going to say I'm excited because this is still Man United. The Man United that United people are trying to get excited about from years back. That United don't exist anymore. This Man United still bottles, even when people have them. Literally, they have everything within their hands. You know, I said to you, Osman, a couple of years ago. I keep forgetting the scout's name. Kel, you might remember, but he used to work at Zenit, and he came to United, and they literally said, "All right, cool, come here and be like our chief scout / director of football-ish kind of role and run things." And then in 3 months, he left because he was like, "What the heck is going on with this club? You're not listening to anything I'm saying." So if it's the same thing with Rangnick, then we're just wasting his time. So if they could actually give him the keys, I'm good. Then I'll be a bit more happier. But until then, I'm still very cautious because Man United do Man United, didn't it?
Yeah, absolutely spot on.
Fair enough. Look, for me personally, I don't agree with what Basil said, actually. What a shock. Look, I understand the sentiment of, Man United fans shouldn't get too happy. I agree with that. And it's going to take time. Look, I didn't know a lot about him prior to his arrival. I've got to be honest. However, I've spent a good amount of hours doing a lot of research. Obviously, as you could probably see from the last podcast I put out, I spent at least a good 5 hours doing proper in-depth research on the guy and actually educating myself on his philosophy, etc., and what he's going to bring to the club. For me, I feel like United fans are more excited about the consultancy role. This season, towards the end of the season, I still think we'll get top 4, and I'm pretty comfortable with finishing above Arsenal, which isn't really an achievement this day and age. But I still think that's going to happen. It's, 6th, 7th. I mean, I think you've got us confused with yourself. But 6 would be a progress for you, given your last 2 seasons. So fair play to you lot. Yeah, we'll definitely finish above Arsenal because I think he's tactically astute. And prior to his arrival, we've not had a manager that has a clue what's going on in terms of football. So it's definitely an upgrade. But Alexis, what are your thoughts, obviously, from a rival perspective?
I think it's progress for Manchester United. Like, you're actually getting a footballing brain into the organism, which I think is a good thing because Manchester United has really been driven by stock prices, clicks, just a modern day corporate machine. Whether they're going to listen to him or whether this is just a way to appease the fans is another question. So it is a positive step if they actually allow him to come in to do the job. But the one thing why I have my reservations is I assume you know about the AC Milan story. They gave him a pre-contract that he signed, and then they had to pay him out to take it back. So they basically gave him a pre-contract in December. He agreed to take over. Pioli came in. Pioli smashed it. And then Maldini said, no, thank you. We don't want you back. But the requirements he put in place were crazy. He wanted to be technical director. He wanted the whole club shaped in his philosophy, and he wanted to be the manager. So if a man's asking for those conditions at AC Milan, is he going to be asking for the similar conditions or trying to have the similar influence at Manchester United? Because whilst it sounds good, let's go for the underground talent names, but those talents need to settle in. So are Manchester United fans going to be happy with that and the teething process? But that's not for me to answer. I'm going to enjoy it because the teething process means you guys have stupid results here and there.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's definitely going to take a long time. It's for him to embed his philosophy. I think that's one thing that, United fans are definitely overlooking, because of course this new manager bounce thing seems to be something that's going around a lot. And the way Rangnick sets his teams up, he needs a pre-season ideally to really get the players up to speed. So yeah, there's going to be a lot of issues at Man United.
I don't believe in that, by the way. Like, I saw it first time with Tuchel. I feel a good manager comes in and uses the tools that are there to get results, and then slowly.
I agree with that, but I just think our stamina and our fitness is so below par compared to where he would want us to be to actually execute his game plan. Like, if you look at the stats, Man United are literally bottom 3 for every running start in the game, ball recoveries, pressing, blah, blah, etc. Literally any stat you can think of, we're literally bottom 3 for every start.
But that's the first thing that's going to improve, no? Because all of them are going to start running now.
But it's going to take time, isn't it? Because obviously the fitness, I'm assuming, is not going to be there, because the players' training methods in the last couple of years must have been shocking and early, to be quite frankly honest with you, because half our players don't run on the pitch, or to a substantial amount. But Cahil, to come to you, before we move on and obviously talk about the title race, which doesn't include any of us, what are your thoughts on Basil's comments saying that Arsenal are going to finish above Man United? Do you agree with that sentiment, or do you have a different opinion on that?
I think we have every possibility of finishing above Manchester United. I think we can get top 4 this season. I don't see why we couldn't. We're playing well right now. We're in that race. We're currently level on points with West Ham. So let's see where the season takes us.
Okay, fair enough. Are West Ham in the title race then? Top 4 race, sorry.
They are, of course they are. They're literally they're literally third or fourth. They're fourth.
So you think West Ham in the top 4 race? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just
I agree with
what?
What?
Come. Usman, are you blind, bro?
Listen, I just want to have the receipts. That's all I'm saying.
You want to have receipts for what?
I do think West Ham have improved massively, but you're just cracking me up, because before you were saying to Lolas, oh, why are you getting gassed about this start? It's so early in the season, like you're gonna fall off, like you always do. And now you're saying, oh no, they deserve like credit for where they are. Like, you actually genuinely think they're not in a false position.
Bro, I never said they never deserve credit for where they are, and I never said they go into full. My point about West Ham was, I don't understand why they are so confident in believing that they can get top 4.
Because you said they're in the top 4 race as well, then, so surely you would understand their confidence.
No, that's not my point. I'm saying they're in the top 4 race, but my point is, why do they believe that they have a bigger chance than Arsenal to get top 4?
The fact that you've even put them in that race is the reason why they're confident, because they've shown last season that they can consistently do well. So
Arsenal's a better team than West Ham, even currently constructed, in my opinion.
I don't think they are. I think
they are. Well, of course I think they are. But of course you don't think. Usman, this isn't 2004 anymore. We're not rivals, bro. We're not fighting for league titles. There's no need for the animosity anymore. Our leaders are. Our leaders, Wenger, if Usman, if Wenger and Fergie can sit down at a table and say, "I want to be you, big man," and then Fergie goes, "No, I want to be you, big man." Maybe we can show that we don't have to fight anymore. If Wenger and Fergie can do it, maybe Usman and Cahill can do it too, bro.
No,
I'm just trying to represent Lawless to the best of my ability, because he's not
represent Lawless all you want, bro. But
no, because if Lawless was here, there's no way in God's given earth that he would allow you to say that you think that Arsenal currently, as it stands, are better than them. But in terms of a position as a club and how that club's being run, I would say West Ham are above you at the moment. Not in position, but in terms of
the club, bro. 2 years ago they were fighting relegation. It's like, bro, like they're playing well right now. Don't get twisted.
Last season,
I can't believe you're gonna make me defend Arsenal.
I don't understand. I know, but my point from the very beginning on this is, and has always been, if you Usman, can believe that West Ham are in a better, can get top 4, but Arsenal can't, because Arsenal have been, it's Arsenal. I don't understand it.
I think you can both get top 4. Okay, I do think you both. However, if someone was to say to me, who do you think is more likely to get top 4, Arsenal or West Ham, I would pick West Ham.
Okay, and I'm going to pick Arsenal, but it is what it is.
That's fair enough. Obviously, I expect you to pick your own team. Yeah. That's understandable. But I still think Man United will get top 4. But I'm just saying, I think West Ham, from what I've seen of them for a longer period, under Moyes, I think, you know, they've shown a bit of consistency that Arsenal haven't shown. And before you go,
But we've been consistent this year.
I know, but you were Arteta out 3 weeks ago, so that's going to happen again. So like
it wasn't 3 years ago. It was more 4.
Oh, 4 weeks.
And I'm still Arteta around. Don't get it twisted. I'm just saying we give him to the end of the season.
I just feel like a couple losses and then it's going to be a black hole for Arsenal again. Like I'm not
maybe, but we have to lose those games first.
All right, fair enough. That's a good point. You're losing one on Thursday. That is, we'll move on from that. Let's move on from that. Let's talk about top. I keep saying top 4, man. That is an achievement. Let's talk about the title race. Obviously, Man United v Chelsea, 1-1 draw. Alexis will allow you to speak on the game first. Obviously, whatever avenue you want to cover regarding the matter. Goals from Jadon Sancho. 2-2 since Ollie's gone. Just saying, just throwing that out there. You know, a bit of a mad start considering his start prior, and then obviously Jorginho scoring a penalty for Chelsea, which doesn't actually count as a goal because, you know, penalties don't count anymore. So Man United technically won 1-0. But Alexis, what are your thoughts, my guy, on the game?
The game went exactly the way I think everyone thought it was going to go. Chelsea were going to dominate possession, and it was literally going to become, can Chelsea open Manchester United up and take their chances? Fact of the matter is, no Havertz, no Lukaku, and we've got Timo up front. Everyone knows my opinions on Timo. I think he's a piece of shit. Like, honestly, I think he's absolutely terrible. He's a 100-meter runner pretending to be a footballer. Yeah, like no first touch, no dribbling ability. He's a very basic baller, like living off his pace and power, like literally to this day now. So when you have him and you have Hakim Ziyech, who's a 28-year-old turning 29 in March, who's inconsistent, and you're dependent on consistent performances and output from them, there are going to be days like this. And it happened. Hudson-Odoi missed a critical chance, and you don't get a bigger fan than me of Hudson-Odoi, but he's got to score. People saying he's got to square it. Werner's running away from the ball. Yeah. Behind
Werner would probably missed, to be fair.
That's what I said. I said, why are you passing to someone that increases your chance of missing? But we didn't take our chances, and that was the only clear chance we created in the first half. There was the Rudiger pot shot. There was nothing else. So when Jorginho took that touch and Sancho went through one-on-one, I thought it was going to end 1-0 after that because it just had the writing of that game. But we got a fortunate penalty from a breakdancer at right back. And like he tried to do a little like Spooner-Rooney there, hit Thiago Silva. And yeah.
It was coming.
And you know what? It just ended up. Man, Rudiger could have won it for us at the end, but on another day we win that game. But it is what it is. We dropped for 2 points. We're still gonna win the title, in my opinion. But
no, Alexis, no, I like that you said that. We are going to talk about titles after this, but I like that you said that you think you're gonna win the title because at least the Chelsea fans actually owning that. But let's very briefly talk about Booker T, Kojo. Because that penalty, and his whole performance, what was he doing? Like, what was he doing?
Listen.
Oh my God!
Listen, I didn't think his performance, man.
There we go.
But listen, but Usman, I've told you about Wan-Bissaka. Do I need to really go on this? I've told you about that brother. Yeah, people got gassed on.
You've been chatting to me about Booker T, though. Like, what was he doing in that moment? Is that his special or what? Like,
that's how you start up for the Spinner-Rooney. They were talking about. Listen, that's wrestling heritage for you. The guy is just he's
out of his depth. Say it.
Spinner-Rooney, bro. That was the Mick kick, not Spinner-Rooney, bro. Mickey James things, man.
No, look.
Coach, look at this
I've never had confidence in that guy because
if Wan-Bissaka did that.
Oh my God!
Oh no!
Running around Old Trafford going, "What's up?"
No,
definitely little. I went Wan-Bissaka, little Jimmy. There we go.
Little Jimmy. No, look. Apart from one-on-ones, what does he actually do that's good? Tell me. I need help. He doesn't pass well. He doesn't dribble well. He doesn't cross well. Off the ball, his positioning is awful. His awareness is terrible. Yes, he stopped Werner from that one-on-one, slight one-on-one.
Hey, Werner stopped Werner from
Werner
shooting. Werner had 4 seconds. He had 4 seconds to set himself, and he still toe poked it.
That's what I'm saying. It's Werner doing Werner things. He struck the ball like you would on Pro Evolution Soccer 5. So, look, Wan-Bissaka, man, I'm done out. I've been done out. For me,
You didn't even say anything on the guy. How can we be done already?
No, I've been done for a while. Oh, that's me haven't spoken about this guy. Listen, he's not gonna level up. He's not going to improve. I don't see where his improvement's coming from. I think he's ready to reach his ceiling. So if he's reached his ceiling and this is what we've got, I'm not gonna lie to you. Get someone else.
Kojo, I was listening to another podcast the other day, and I'm not going to take no credit for this, but they said Man United paid premium English tax on a player that's going to play for Congo in 2 years.
Oh my God!
Like, can you imagine? He's going to be a Congo international, but they paid Man United premium tax for.
I need some air. I need some air.
Like,
You know what? I'll tell you this. If Man U are smart, they'll just go. I'll just go to Brighton and go snap up Lamptey. Why you can? Honestly, if they're smart, that's the smart move.
but what are you paying? 50 M's?
Yeah,
60
yeah.
M's? Because if Ben White cost that money, Lamptey's not worth that money.
Hey, Ben White's been decent this year.
No,
Relax,
that's
man.
not even criticism of Ben White. Like, that's genuinely, if he's 50 M's, what's the market saying?
Yeah.
You know
That's
in the comments, United Way, shout out West, said, I just want Dalo. If you can tell me what Wan-Bissaka does well, yeah, tell me when your birthday is, I'll buy you a beautiful gift. Tell me what he does well, apart from one-on-ones. I'm begging you, West. Tell me.
I mean, Wan-Bissaka, I've defended him on many occasions, but as soon as he gave that penalty away, I thought, you dumb. I can't say the word, but what was he doing? Like, Thiago's, I mean, he obviously didn't see Thiago, and it is a penalty because, of course, he's clipped him. But just why, my guy? It looked like we're going to hold up for a 1-0, like Alexis was saying. I'm there, got the table up and trying to tell you how far it is to potentially get in the top 4 in that. And it's, next thing I know, his fans give us stupid penalty away. I'm like, you're only 3 points up.
What was worse? Well, what was worse? What he did or what Fred did?
What did Fred
do? What did Fred do? What, you mean the chip?
That stupid shot.
No, definitely Wan-Bissaka's as well. What
was worse?
By the way, just so you guys do know, Fred is apparently Brazilian, by the way, and he's done that. Like,
bro, can I ask you why Fred was playing Cam?
No, he wasn't playing Cam.
Well, what was Fred doing?
He was playing number 8.
He was the only one. He was the only one that could press effectively in our midfield. So he eventually just drifted off.
Yeah, bro. Bruno was running like a headless chicken.
Hey, Bruno, thinks he's a number 9.
Headless chicken.
Bruno thinks he's a 9. I swear, he thinks he's a 9.
There was a simple pass he could have played, and he smashed it. He just absolutely smashed it. It's like, bro, do you know how to pass it gently? Just a nice pass. Just a nice one once, man.
Sometimes
he just smashed
like
it.
Anderson.
Wait, did you see his little press conference after?
No,
the audacity of this man. He was like, I've been consistent ever since I came to this club. I've had high standards. I've been very consistent. We need to start maintaining those consistencies as a team. Basically threw everyone under the bus.
Oh my God! Basically saying I'm doing my job and nobody else to do their job.
I mean, to be honest,
like, bro,
he has been bagging like 20 plus.
It's not a lie, though, is it?
It's not completely a lie.
Yeah,
it's not completely a lie.
Yeah.
In the last couple of months, it's been a lie, but before that,
grab those penalty inflated stats, last minute.
Oh no!
Listen, Alexis, let's not get into that because I don't want to bring Lampard's name into this. Yeah, but
I'm fine. Bring it in.
Because Lampard loved the penalty as well. So
bro, I'm not one of those Chelsea fans. I'm not going to sit here and defend Lampard. Like,
my guy's like he prefers Gerrard. That's you love to see it, man. You love to see it.
What?
No comment.
Oh man!
Hey, if you're asking me to build a team tomorrow, and
I respect it.
You got Lampard or Gerrard?
Oh shit!
I respect it. I respect it.
How do we consistently always invite unbiased fans on? I don't understand. Now we've got Kane Honest to God, every time I seem to invite someone up, they're not biased. I don't understand. I've just got a knack for finding real fans, but it is what it is. Listen, just to quickly summarize, basically we were looking to get a point, but I will take it every day of the week.
Wait, hold on. Ronaldo not starting. I need to hear Man United perspectives on that. Are you happy with that?
Kojo, do you want to go first? I feel like we got the same opinion on this.
At first, obviously, when I saw the lineup in general, I was not very happy at all. But then, no, it kind of worked, innit? Ronaldo should start this. No, don't hear me out. I'm not saying that it can. As in, we weren't gonna win that game. I'm very, very sure that Carrick's tactics were steal a 1-0 or get a draw. So in that sense, it kind of worked. I'm not smart. Not saying Ronaldo doesn't make sense. It's a big game. You don't drop Ronaldo for a big game. What's that?
Can I ask a question? Yeah, was Carrick there under LVG, or was it Mourinho that he started?
Mourinho.
So he came after Rui Ferreira left, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, it was Giggs under Van Gaal. It was Giggs.
Listen about that guy, the bell. Also, he's redacted on my phone. We don't talk about him. But
didn't he win you in FA Cup?
Who?
Van Gaal.
Van Gaal did not. Ryan.
No, he means Ryan.
Okay, yeah.
Right, yeah. No,
Rodri's brother.
Yeah, Rodri's brother.
That's what we refer to him now.
Thank you. Yeah, Rodri's brother is blacklisted. So
one of the most overrated left winger in Premier League history.
I mean, I'm not going to defend him. We're not going to defend him. He's a scum of the earth. As simple as that. I don't know the guy.
Robert Pires is better.
I mean, I don't really give a shit. You can say what you want about that geezer.
Do it then.
But yeah, just regarding the Ronaldo thing, I agree with Kojo in the sense that it was the right choice to not start him. I just think it was inevitable. We're not going to have the ball, and he was going to basically be feeding off scraps, and we needed a pace on the break, which didn't happen a lot in the first half. In the second half, we start to see a bit of success with Rashford starting to get the better of people, and then of course he got substituted off because that would make too much sense to keep him on the pitch when he actually started to contribute to the game. Which is what Man United managers do at the moment. So thank God Carrick is gone.
I'll say this as well. If Carrick wants a career as a football manager, he should have stopped now and give up, to be honest. Because my guy's been there since Mourinho. And those are the tactics that you're employing. Because anyone can tell someone to sit back. And if you're at United and have those players and you're asking everyone to just sit back. Because I remember that first half, I saw all your 11 players back on the edge of your box. And I thought that is absolute madness.
I think that's harsh, though, man.
No,
I think that's harsh.
No,
I think that's harsh. That's harsh, man. It's his first big game against Chelsea.
Arteta's done that as well.
Let me tell you,
you got to bring him. You got to bring him into.
I swear to God, it's not a dig. I swear to God.
No, but I agree.
Well, Arteta's done it as well against.
I agree.
And Chelsea. They pick up off the back of it. So like,
that's what we're at.
Can I play devil's advocate for that though? No, go on, Basil. Finish one. I'll play devil's advocate for that because
the reason why I say this is because United actually didn't have a plan on the ball whatsoever. They actually didn't have a plan on the ball, and I sat down and was like, well, if you've been at United for let's say 4 or 5 years, and you have ambitions to be a manager, the easiest thing anybody can do, and you don't even have to be a manager, is say work hard, run, sit back, and press. It's simple.
This comment here is absurd.
If you don't have tactics on the ball,
yo, that's a great comment.
That's true. No, I have no more to say. That comment's from me.
Oh my God, what a comment! That's world class.
Oh my
God. Alexis, what's your devil's advocate comment?
My devil's advocate point would have been right. Chelsea are champions of Europe at the moment, right?
Yeah.
So they're a team that's meant to win the Premier League. All of us can agree at the start of the season, none of us thought Man United were going to win the league, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how many players in that Manchester United lineup are good enough to even be league title winners? You look at the left back, Tellez isn't good enough. Wan-Bissaka, we just called him a WWE wrestler. You got the two centre backs that Lindelof's can potentially be next to a good partner, a good centre back. Bailly's reckless. You don't know what you're going to get from him from day in, day out. McTominay's a championship player running around like he's Action Man. Like, that team should not be playing good standard of football. So
no, I disagree with that drastically. But when you have Rafa Varane, David De Gea is a proven.
They're not playing.
No. But the team at the start, you said at the start of the season. So they got David De Gea, they got Paul Pogba, they got Rafa Varane, they got Cristiano Ronaldo, they've got Jadon Sancho, Marcus Rashford. There's so many top quality players in that team. They can easily win a league if they have the right manager at the helm.
But how do you set them up? Because whilst I get you've got individuals that are great. How do you supplement Pogba, Bruno, and Ronaldo in one team? You can't. Like, you need to have.
You can supplement, but you could. Yeah, I agree with that. But you can supplement. Like, you take Bruno out of that conversation, put Pogba and Ronaldo together. Bloody hell, man! Come on now, that's ridiculous. If you consider what he was doing for Zlatan Ibrahimovic in the first scene, and obviously the Pogba that was back then is very different to the Pogba now. But man, Pogba's a dream. I'm saying that there. Pogba.
Listen, Pogba's a great player. I'll take him at Chelsea any day of the week. Like,
if he goes Chelsea, fuck that, man.
Hey, apparently Rio Ferdinand was planning to go Chelsea. That comment would from Jamie Carragher threw me.
Yeah, Carragher.
Oh yeah. He
That's ridiculous.
Wait, what happened?
Rio Ferdinand back in I think 2005 or 6 tried to engineer a move to Chelsea. He tried.
Wasn't it after his Manchester career?
A little bit after he came back from the drug ban. And when I say he tried to engineer, he tried hard to engineer.
I wasn't aware of this, to be fair.
Oh yeah, I heard of this on his podcast the other day, but he said it weren't the case. So I've never heard of it because I was what?
He say it's not the case because
I was
he's got
6.
a legacy at United that he doesn't want to tarnish. He's loved at United, so why would he want to tarnish that, brother? The guy tried to leave hard.
Moving like Gerrard.
I was about to say
Gerrard is being good because he got threatened. If Gerrard didn't
yeah.
ran straight to Chelsea. So, boy, actually, Cole did it. He did it successfully. The other two wanted to follow.
What a great decision that was, huh?
I mean, a lot of Arsenal players that leave tend to be successful, don't they? That's just how it.
You're acting like Ashley Cole wasn't successful at Arsenal. Relax, please. Anyway,
I know, but I mean,
no. I know, but my guy's an invincible. Move on, Usman. Move on. New question. Move on, Usman. You messed on, bruv. This guy. All right, cool. Move on, Usman.
He had to leave to get Champions League, didn't he? So
did he now? Yeah, of course he did. Yeah.
How else was he gonna get it?
Yeah.
How else was he gonna get it?
Don't you think it's mad? People were born and are gonna go to uni and they still ain't seen Arsenal win a league title nearly. Like,
yeah, it's crazy.
It's nearly that close.
Not me, G. So it doesn't matter.
Yeah, hey, you lot are lucky.
Yeah, you guys are the lucky Arsenal fans because like everybody else growing up, like yourself, grew up on like an unbelievable team. Like when you're at school, you can hold your own. These kids that support Arsenal at school now,
it's peak out there, bro. It's cold this winter, but wear some Arsenal bomber jackets, man.
Oh yeah, I wonder why kids nowadays. So like, I don't even mean it in a rude way. Like unless your dad or your uncle or someone in your family is an Arsenal fan.
Yeah, that's the only reason. Yeah.
What the appeal would be.
Do you know how powerful Arsenal's reach? I don't care all this as well. When I was in Spain, I was in a very random city in Spain, not a big one. I was working there random. I thought I had escaped Arsenal fans. Arsenal fans have been everywhere in my life. Brother, they were everywhere there as well. I saw shirts. I was like, hold on. What the heck is going on?
Arsenal's a massive, don't get me wrong, but I agree that going forward, especially kids nowadays, like let's say 5-6-year-olds, it's going to be very hard to convince them to be Arsenal fans.
Yeah, Man City or Liverpool at the moment.
I went to pick up my cousin from school the other day. It was Mufti Day. I saw kids in Man City tops. I was like, what's going on here?
Bro, it's bad. Man City, they ain't there glory sports, little shit.
Gotta love glory hunters, man.
Glory supporters got no morals whatsoever.
Like London-based Manchester United fans.
Yeah, legit. They could never be me, Kojo.
We actually.
And maybe Sheffield-based ones as well.
Yeah, I mean, I technically I support United, so I'm all good. But listen, let's move on from my United chat. Let's talk about the title race itself. Very impressive win from Man City over West Ham. I mean, West Ham was somewhat faltered in the recent weeks. Kojo, as our resident West Ham fan with that loan has been here, what are your thoughts on your current team? Somewhat dropped the ball of late.
They've been fumbling. Like they've been in good form overall. I mean, carrying from last season, they started the season well. They've dominated their European group, no problem. They started off the league well, but again, I've said it. They are another one of the inconsistent sides because they should not have been losing to Wolves. That's number one. Losing to City is not a problem. Man City are damn good. So if you go to the Etihad and you lose, and it's 2-1, so it's a tight game, that's not a problem. But losing to Wolves is a problem. But look, it's 2 losses, but they're still 4th. They're still in the top 4 race. They were never expected to challenge for the title. So, as far as I'm concerned, as long as David Moyes sort of clocks the issue very quickly and says, "Yo, all right, cool, we lost 2. We need to bounce back in the next game. Let's try and get a win." And they get a win, then it's back to what they were doing before. So the Irons are still doing their thing. Stratford's still looking lovely. Westfield's out here, So no problems at the Hammers.
Fair enough. Basil, what do you reckon? Do you think West Ham are going to start to do that thing when those clubs tend to start really well? Like Spurs when they thought they were in the title race last season. They start really well and then they eventually fall off. Do you think West Ham are kind of in that category, or do you think it's too early to write them off, so to speak?
No, them and Tottenham are the same. They just don't have the players, unfortunately. Just don't have the players. I mean, West Ham are about an injury or 2 away from just sliding down the league. Same as Tottenham, just a player or 2, just sliding down the league. I mean, we saw Tottenham during the midweek, who they lost to, and what the manager said, that says it all. So it's the same with West Ham. Same with West Ham. They just don't have the players to really rotate and really play around with. Like, everyone is really playing on terms of like hearts at the moment, in terms of David Moyes, the David Moyes factor. That's what I thought they're playing on. But give it a few more games and we're going to see West Ham slide down the table. I think they'll do well. They'll pick up results here and there, but they don't really have players who can consistently do it over a number of games. They have 1 or 2 players that can show up and maybe another one show up if one doesn't. But they don't have that 1 or 2 players who are consistently performing for them week in, week out. And yeah, like I said, they're keeping our spot warm. There's only a matter of time before Arsenal take that full spot. So like I said, keep it warm for us and we'll be right there soon.
I knew that's where it was leading to. This guy
That's jokes. That's jokes.
Well, I like Basil a lot because he says things with his chest. I mean, it's great to clip up for receipts later, and then obviously I'll just make you notes. I'll just put Basil's name down about 7 times. What would you say, Basil?
I'll say this finally, because Lawless is doing all the talk for West Ham. He's reserving all that talk for us, because pretty soon all that positive energy is given to West Ham. Soon going to be replacing him. We'll be talking on behalf of Arsenal soon. So tell him to reserve that for the real team that are going to take full spot.
Wow, gotta respect it. Gotta respect it. I respect
That's
it, Basil.
Promo. One Bissaka in the building. That's a promo.
It.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry, Basil. Lawless will be back next week. You can tell him yourself. Alexis, what are your thoughts on the second biggest team in London currently? Obviously losing 2-1 to City. What have you made of West Ham so far?
West Ham's a good team. It's actually very refreshing to see another team competing for top 4. Like, at this moment in time, you have to say they are competing. I'm not going to say they're going to make it. I actually think Arsenal have a bigger chance than them. But I think it's another team competing. But I think Basil hit the nail on the head, didn't he? Like, Antonio gets injured, who's playing up top? Antonio had a good run of form in the beginning of the season. He's cooled off a little bit. I think the team's a good team, but they're not a Champions League side, let's be honest. Like, they're 8th place, 7th place. They're David Moyes' Everton, like from back in the day. I think all of us are old enough to remember that team. That's a good team. On their day, they'll beat you, but on another day, they can get slapped 4-0. And no one will be too shocked about it. So, yeah, like you can't be too disappointed. And the statement that Kojo said about Wolves. I personally think Wolves' talent in that team might be the better team.
I think Wolves are good football inside.
Yeah, I like Wolves' team. I think there's Pedro Neto, Podence, Raul Jimenez, in my opinion, is the most underrated striker in the league. I would have had him at Chelsea over Lukaku, only because of what he offers as a target man. As a target.
Whoa.
I never wanted Rom. Like, I'm dead serious.
So
I don't like Rom's.
Jimenez over Lukaku.
Yeah, because of what Jimenez offers with pressing, what Jimenez offers with link-up play, his ability to beat a man off a dribble by himself, his ability in the air.
My guy said, bring your first touch outside, Rom.
Yeah, bro, I'm telling you now, when we were buying him, my mentions were popping off because they were all calling me negative. They were like, because I don't understand why though. Like, you can be critical of a player. We don't play to his style. Jimenez slides into this team.
So would you still swap him then if that was to offer to you? Like, obviously they'd have to put money on top, but would you still swap him?
Oh, yeah. If we could undo the decision to sign Lukaku and go for twin 10, another player to play in the twin 10 that's a goal scorer, like a Salah prototype or a Mane prototype, any day of the week.
Apparently, Chelsea are linked to Chiesa. Have you seen the rumors today?
Yeah, I have, but I'm not convinced with him, man.
Really?
I think he's a good footballer, but I think sample size for Juventus is a lot worse than the sample size that people are going off for Italy at that Euros.
Yeah,
I don't believe in signing players after tournaments. Yeah. I've been fooled one too many times.
I mean, even to be fair, this season so far for Juventus, it's not just him.
Kojo, talking to the mic, you're very quiet.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know what you mean. Sorry. I was going to say, even for Juventus, like, it's not just him, because Juventus have been stinking all season anyway, but he has not been good. He has not.
Hey, Dybala is their best player, and I've been saying it. If Chelsea want anyone from there, you better be bringing Dybala in.
But Dybala's been stinking up as well, though.
That's what I was about to say. Even him,
his stats are decent though this year, aren't they?
They are decent, but they're not.
He's
scoring goals.
It's hard to assess a Juve play though, man. That team is dead. Do you know what I mean? Like.
And Allegri tax is real, man, with attacking players.
Exactly.
Attacking players.
Ronaldo, they're still blaming Ronaldo, but
because apparently it was Ronaldo's fault that they got slapped the other week, but obviously, you know.
Oh, yeah, and sorry's fault. And sorry.
Yeah, don't forget, Ronaldo and Sarri is the reason they lost 4-0 against Chelsea. That was the reason.
Oh, yeah, definitely Sarri's fault. Gave them the prototype.
Listen, I'm happy there's something new here because they're one ungrateful fucking club. Honestly, God. They are, man. They're ungrateful as well. I need AC Milan and Inter to rise, but
apparently they're under investigation again.
They could get relegated. Again? They could get relegated.
Match fixing again.
No, transfers.
Obviously, we must say, but I mean, wink, wink, Arthur, wink, wink. We know it's about. No shocks there. I mean, if anyone thought that was a legit deal, then you don't know anything about football. But anyways, listen, I love how Basil just did. Basil's like, I don't want to be any affiliate with this shit. Don't worry, Basil. I'll make sure your face is on the. But listen, let's move on. I don't really want to speak about Liverpool because I don't like them, but we have to. Because otherwise I'd be called biased. I'm going to brush over it very quickly because I do feel like they should have won this going into the game. But can we just talk about Jota? Because obviously Salah, Trent, all these guys always get the plaudits and rightfully so. But Jota, for me, is one of the most underrated players in the Premier League. Like, honestly, like his goal-to-game ratio is outstanding. But in general, like, I just think he's been fantastic. So, like, he doesn't seem to get any credit. Like, I barely hear people raving about him. Everyone talks about Salah, and I understand why. But Jota, for me, is one of the reasons they've been so successful because he's really been filling in the gaps from Firmino and Mane's deficiencies of late. Should we say? I know Mane's kind of picked up this season.
No Mane deficiencies this season, bro.
Yeah, this season he's been on job, innit? Obviously, fair play to him, but obviously last season he was just non-existent. I
wouldn't say he's been that on job, if I'm being honest. And the reason I say, because I compare it to his goal scoring exploits maybe 2-3 seasons ago, and it still hasn't really picked up to that level. Salah's the only one that's...
It's been like 12 games, man.
Yeah, bro, he's got 7 and 12. That's mad.
I think when you look at what Salah's doing, he's still maintaining that high level.
I think Salah's gone to the next level.
Yeah.
No, like, I think Salah's kicked on. Like, he's arguably best player in the world right now. I wouldn't say it, but people could argue it.
Well, Ronaldo's technically better than if you use the Ballon d'Or list. I'm just throwing that out there. Listen, any Liverpool fan, I've seen so much Liverpool fans talk about individual awards. Well, Ronaldo's come 6th. When do you think he should be there? So
I don't know why people are fussed about the rankings, because if you're not like top 2 or 3, who cares whether you're 8th, 7th?
Yeah, but if Basil in fact, no, actually it doesn't. But I'm going to use it anyways. It now means Ronaldo's the best attacker in the league by ranking. So, I mean, I was going to say best Premier League player, but obviously Regista boy and Kante is there, so we can't. We'll say attacker.
And Kante?
Kante. I love Kante and I can't hate on him, but Regista boy, it is what it is. But listen, look, what regarding Liverpool, for me, I said that they're going to finish 4th, right? That was my prediction. And the reason I gave was I think that they're a couple of injuries away from really being in trouble. However, it seems to, for whatever reason, their players are staying fit. Now, but for whatever reason, they've just
Hey, I
been very
love that.
consistent. Like, honest to God, they've been really impressive this season. Like, Kale, we'll come to you firstly. You know, of course, you guys played them recently, didn't you? So you know all about them. But
Do I? Yeah.
Damn.
what have you made of Liverpool, Kale? Of like, my guy.
I mean, yeah, just to agree with you. Like nobody, I don't think anybody here thought that they would be in the title race this season because we all assumed that Van Dijk won. Well, okay, apart from
I
Alexis.
called them to win it.
Oh yeah, fair.
Alexis, you did, didn't you? I was seeing that.
Oh, fair play. Yeah, but everybody thought that Van Dijk wouldn't be the same or would be as injury prone, but would potentially pick up another knock. He hasn't. He's pretty much kicked on from his last fully fit season. Salah, like Alexis says, Salah is on a different planet this season, man. He's been absolutely outstanding. And to argue your point, I feel like the only reason that Jota isn't is underrated technically is because of that injury, man. During that season, that last season, he was on fire as he was. I think he was playing better than Salah, to be honest, last season. Then that unfortunate injury happened, and Liverpool's form dipped. It was grateful. I imagine Man United fans are grateful for that. But he's getting back there now. I mean, he's not doing Salah numbers. He's not going to do Mane numbers either. But he's just as a third player, as the focal point of the attack. He's a wonderful player. He's 10 times the player Firmino is, and that's a damn fact. But Thiago's playing well right now as well. You can't argue that.
Thiago's goal.
His goal against the Champions League was outstanding, man.
That was outrageous. That goal.
Yeah. And the defense is not solid. You can get past them, but Van Dijk, man, Van Dijk's just brilliant, man. So you can't argue. They stand a chance. Sorry. They stand a chance to win the league this season. I'm not sure. I think City might have a bit more than them, but I think Chelsea might have a bit more than them. But you have to wait and see, man.
I think you kind of led me on nicely to the title race conversation. So, Kojo, we'll come to you firstly on that matter. So, we've got obviously Chelsea, Liverpool, and City. I believe 1 point separating the three. I might be wrong on that, but I think it's 1 point. Very tight at the top. Who do you reckon has impressed you the most out of them three teams? If you were to put money on it, who would your money be on and why?
Still City. The thing is, no, Chelsea have been very good, but the issue with Chelsea is I just don't know if it's sustainable that their defenders are scoring a lot more goals than their forwards. That's a problem for me. Now, it's not going to last forever. Reece James and Ben Chilwell are not going to score every single game, but they've been doing it for
Chilwell's out, isn't it?
Chilwell ain't scoring anytime soon.
Yeah, he's actually done now. And
he's out.
Alonso is obviously the replacement, who actually is very good going forward as well, if we're being fair to him.
I know every Chelsea fan.
I guess not.
London, yeah,
at least Reece James is doing his thing. But yeah,
good save.
But look, no, the reason I say City is because City just look like every time you doubt them, they just bring another option out. But that's what they've been doing for the last couple of years. They've got depth in so many places that they don't even feel the lack of a striker that people were screaming of. They need Harry Kane, they need Haaland, they need this. They're showing that they don't really need them. But what they're saying is if they get one of those strikers that are killers, then it's a whole new problem to add to the squad. So, they're doing very well. They're getting goals from different areas. The fact that Fernandinho and Gundogan, scored this weekend is good. And then you go previous to Bernardo Silva, and they can be Mahrez, Sterling, Foden, Torres, Jesus, who is boy. So
you don't even mention KDB there as well,
They didn't even get.
Hey, he still plays.
Yeah, exactly. It's a madness.
Well, he's become injury prone. So look, they got a lot of options, man. They're using them well. Pep rotates very well. So I'll still say City, but after that, I'll probably say Chelsea and then Liverpool, because Liverpool are just doing. It's fitness that's getting them where they are. But I want to see what they do when those two go away for international duty in January. I want to see how they cope. Then I'll say, okay.
How long are they away for? Like, is it a long time?
It's 2 games, isn't it?
Well, they're saying 2 games, but
that's
depends how far they go anyway. But
it's 2 Premier League games. Because I did that because we're going to have Kepa in goal. So I calculated worst case scenario, it's 2 games in the Premier League and 1 Champions League game, depending on the draw.
That's minor, man. It's not that big of a
Yeah.
deal.
So it's not as bad as everyone's making it out to see.
Yeah, Liverpool fans are just crying about. That's all I hear them complaining about, man.
Because they're shook. They don't want to see Origi and Oxlade Chamberlain.
Yeah, but apparently they're
Shots
not
out,
on
they
my
don't see
team in
that.
it. So you'd be alright, man. Don't reply. Hey, you don't always. You got Trent in it. He's not African, so you're good. Basil, who's your money on, G? Top three. Who would you put your money on?
I'm still getting Chelsea favourite. I mean, to be honest, I think Chelsea just have a knack of knowing how to beat these smaller teams that can cause other teams problem. They seem to control the games a lot better, and I think Chelsea are more balanced in terms of attacking and defensively. So they're very strong. I'll say Chelsea are very strong defensively. In attacking, they seem to sort of wear teams down. Liverpool, when you look at the West Ham match, there's still vulnerabilities there. So you can still have another match where they get beat against a team like West Ham or teams along those teams around that West Ham realm. Sometimes City, you don't know what City you're going to get, which is surprising. They'll dominate a lot of games. I think they'll win a lot of games, but I think you can catch City on an off day sometimes. Which team did they lose to not too long ago? I think 2-3. Palace, yeah. I feel City can give you one of those results, and I think Chelsea will show consistency over the course of the season. Because I think Tuchel has more players to play around with throughout the whole squad. Because I think City, there's games where not having that striker can sometimes count against them in maybe one or two games. Whereas Chelsea, I mean, the squad depth is just absolutely ridiculous, to be honest. I mean, I'm jealous with the amount of players that they can just play around with. It's ridiculous.
Who would you take from that Chelsea team, Basil, to give you that real confidence to actually win the title this season? Because obviously you're confident you're going to win it earlier. So we'll play from Chelsea to take Arsenal to that title.
I'll definitely take Reece James. I think I'll take.
You got Tomiyasu though. Why didn't you Reece James?
You're so
yeah, bro. That was the wrong position, man. You could have went midfield. You could have went midfield.
No. I think Reece James is just different levels to Tomiyasu. I like Tomiyasu, but I think Reece James is different level.
Bro, your problems are bigger than right back.
I'd actually take Lukaku, to be honest. And the reason why I'm saying this,
I'll take Lukaku.
Because of our style of playing, the way we're swinging that ball into the box, we need a player like Lukaku who can be in the end of things. So I would actually take him, and I'll take all the Chelsea midfielders. I
said one player, man. This guy's taking the whole team. Obviously, you take that.
I'm midfielder. It just does not gel together.
You don't want to take our manager?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'll take him.
What about Mendy? You might have taken Mendy as well, or do you like that photography goalkeeper?
I think Ramsdale's,
photography goalkeeper. Hasn't De Gea been your goalkeeper for 10 years? Let's not talk about photography, please.
What do you mean? David De Gea doesn't do it for the cameras. He does it for the love of the game, mate.
Oh, of course. There we go.
Oh, wow.
Alexis, let's come to you. Do you still think Liverpool are your favourites? Oh, you didn't say favourites, but is Liverpool still a team you'd back to with the league, so to speak?
Man, I change my mind every week now.
Yeah.
So all three teams have it's so nice to see that they've got a definitive system. Yeah. So they're all unique in their own way, and they all are so strong that if it's a one-off game, you won't be surprised if it goes either way. There's no outstanding favourite. So I'm not gonna stick my neck out on the line. The Chelsea fan in me wants Chelsea to win, right? But I hate looking past Pep. Pep's taught me one thing. I think it's 13 years he's been a manager, 11 league titles.
That is
you can't look past him. You can't.
He's lost. What?
You I know people throw the whole Champions League argument in his way. He's lost it once to Mourinho with Real Madrid, and then the one time to Klopp. His style is amazing. I know, and he makes great players seem world class.
He definitely has a knack of elevating people's games, man. Honest to God,
was he in the Premier League when Conte won it?
No, I don't think so.
No. 2015, right?
Actually, no.
Pellegrini, wasn't it Pellegrini?
No. Yeah, there was.
No, he was because
it was. So there was a season he didn't win it because that was a season they were complaining about. His style wouldn't adapt to the Premier League.
That was the fourth place.
Yeah. Yeah,
that was but realistically speaking, this is the best title race I've seen in my lifetime so far.
Better than Arsenal's invincible title race.
Bro, I don't remember that one. I'll be honest, innit? I don't like. I can't like. I was so young where I remember Arsenal. Like now looking back, I was like, oh, I remember the Leicester game, but I don't remember that whole title race. I was too young to. So, yeah.
I mean, I think Baz was joking there. I don't even think.
Bro, I don't even know if he's joking, innit? I just showed my age there.
I
Like,
think he is. I think
No, it's definitely one of the tightest ones because I prefer title races where it's between maybe 3 or 4 teams because the games really matter rather than 2 teams as it's been for like a very long time.
The great one was the Gerrard slipped one because it was three. It was three horses.
That was a great one,
bro. Because people always forget Chelsea with 4 games to go. It was still in their hands to potentially win it because we drew with Norwich and we drew with Sunderland. No, we lost to Sunderland. So and both home games. If we got 6 points there and beat Liverpool, we would have went into the final day needing a win to win the league. But no one remembers that because.
Well, Gerrard, obviously.
Gerrard. How selfish of him to steal all the highlights.
I disagree. I think the greatest one, and I'm surprised the 2 United fans.
I know. This is what I think as well. To be fair, it has to be the Aguero goal.
It has to be the Aguero one.
Yeah, it does.
It's the sweetest one. Fergie's face.
Fergie's. Remember Phil Jones?
I remember
look
Phil Jones. In my head, that Phil Jones' face is ingrained in me. Like, which is a nightmare every time I struggle to go to sleep from that. But I know that it has to be the Aguero one. That's got to be the most iconic moment, isn't it? I mean, it doesn't have to be fair. But anyways, so I think Kale, you're the only person that's giving your thoughts on the matter. Top 3 teams. What do you reckon if you were to put your money on any of them? Who are you going for? I mean, Alexis kind of sat the fence to the extent. I'm not gonna lie, but it is what it is. We're not got a gun to everyone's head. So, Kale, what do you reckon?
I did start the season off with Chelsea, but I'm gonna go with City this time. I'm gonna agree with Kojo. I think just the fact that they're still up there, they're still fighting. The quality of play, the style of football, just they can absolutely hammer anybody every week with no striker as well, man. You got to give it to them. They've got so many players to pull from. I mean, has Jack Grealish played recently?
No.
So no.
He's got female drama. He's not allowed to play.
Oh, mad, is it? All right, cool.
He's got a lot of drama.
He's got a lot of drama. So there you go, man. So they got £100 million of one player on the bench. That's crazy, man. So they've got so much at the disposal.
You got 80 million on your bench with Pepe. we do. Fair enough, but I think what's happened to Pepe? I know, I like him a lot.
No, I did, but I think it's this time. It's time.
Is he not finished at Arsenal? Because I would have generally taken him at Man United.
It's time to give up on that project, man. I don't think from the minute one, Arteta's not liked him. He doesn't like flair. And if there's anything Pepe does
every time Pepe's played against us, he's fucking destroyed us. So I really hope it's okay.
Hey, Pepe celebrates skill moves like goals, bro. I love it. I absolutely love it.
There we go. There we go. But
he has violated Man United every time he's played, so I can't bother him too much. To be fair,
I still agree that I still think he played well in the season that he was for us. But it is what it is, man. I don't like him, so.
Who thinks that, Caleb?
Well, boom. There you go.
Just my thoughts, and then we'll do score predictions. We were going to do a mini preview for Arsenal and stuff, but we've kind of run over time, so we don't have to dwell on too much. So basically, what I said the other day was, I think that Liverpool have been fantastic this season. There's no denying that. But I think Liverpool have potentially hit their ceiling in the sense that they could potentially maybe go to one level more. I just don't think they can elevate themselves as more than they have currently shown us. I think they're playing to the best of their ability to an extent, or at least 80%, I would say, 85%. Chelsea are like 50% of their ability. Like, as I know that probably sounds crazy because they've got a lot of results, but for me, Chelsea can go up so many levels. They're nowhere near the best version of themselves.
Bro, we can't. We don't have goals.
No, but that's the point I was going to make. I think most of your goals are coming from your defense, as Kojo alluded to earlier. But if Lukaku starts doing what I expect of him, he's going to that's going to definitely increase.
What do you expect of Rondo?
Yeah, hold on. What do you Usman expect of him? You specifically, Usman. I want to know this.
I've been very Alexis, just to give you backstory. I've been very critical of Lukaku, obviously ex-Man United player, and these guys in particular, one of the older co-hosts always holds me. Oh, Usman, you doubt Lukaku, etc. So I've always criticised him to an extent. I do like him, but I've always criticised him. For me, I think he's a 20-goal striker. Still, I still think because he's a flat trap bully, isn't he? And I think once that kicks in for Chelsea, you're going to start improving to another level. I think Havertz and players like that, I still believe in Havertz's ability. I know he hasn't shown in a Chelsea shirt for consistent, but I'm a huge fan of his time at Leverkusen. I know people say German tax, whatever, but I just don't think that ability goes away overnight. I still think he's got it in him. Timo Werner, it seems like he's just shit.
He's Pepe, isn't it? He's basically Pepe.
I mean,
Hey, Pepe scored more goals than Werner. Let's not try that, please.
No, has he though? Werner got 25 contributions last year. I don't know how.
You said goals, bro. I'm talking about goals, not contributions.
But I just think you got players in there that haven't. That Mason Mount, again, another player who hasn't been amazing this season. Like you got Mount, Lukaku, Havertz can all definitely improve. Pulisic can potentially. I mean, Pulisic definitely can improve. There's a lot of your players the attacking players that haven't really been nowhere near what I expected them. So once they kick in, I think they're going to do better. And it's the same for City as well. Although they're doing really well, I still think they've got levels that they can go above. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne is not featured. Grealish, to an extent, isn't really contributing. I'm sure these players can contribute. But regarding Liverpool, I feel like all of their players, like Salah, Mane, and Co, they've all been firing really. And like all of their players have been 8 out of 10 this season, I would say, consistently. Unlike your two teams, I think your teams have still got another level. So I think City first, Chelsea second, and Liverpool third, only because that's what I said at the start of the season, so I'm going to stick by it. We're going to quickly... go on, someone answer that.
No, when Arsenal fourth, that's what I was saying.
I mean, West Ham fourth. But yeah, listen, let's just get the score predictions for the games, because like I said, we were going to do a preview, but we'll leave it for tonight because it's late. So Arsenal v Man United is the biggest game for all the mid-table teams this season, this week, shall we say. Alexis, as a neutral, we'll start with you. What's your score prediction for that one?
I think Man United make a statement win. I think this is Cristiano Ronaldo's time. I think he gets a brace, 3-1 victory, Manchester United. And the reason Ronaldo loves big, like that game against Spurs. We all knew what was going to happen. It was going to be a moment where Ronaldo stepped up. It was going to be about him. It was a team that's not fantastic, but they're big enough name for him to steal the headlines. I think the same thing's going to happen against Arsenal. I think Arsenal will play into United's hands and Ronaldo, and they'll park the bus and try hit on the break. Ronaldo in the box. Ronaldo breaks them open. 2 goals. Someone else chips in with another one. 3-1 win.
I mean, if it's 3-1 Man United, Arsenal need to go in their caves because I'm going to be insufferable. I'll say that right now. Cahil, we'll come to you next. What do you reckon?
I think it's going to be an extremely close game. I don't think Ronaldo's going to score a brace. I feel like they're going to want to hit us on the break, but their midfield is going to be. It's going to be a midfield battle, and I think our midfield is better, well, currently than theirs. I think we might nick a 1-0 victory.
Kojo, what do you reckon?
2-0 Man United.
Oh, confident. Okay, Basil, what do you reckon?
Definitely 3-0 Arsenal. Maguire's goals are flying.
Usman. 1 minute 13:53.
I know. I'm just trying to find the minute then.
Clip.
Okay, that's fine. Right,
if they win 3-0,
Basil, continue.
If they win 3-0, delete the evidence.
3-0.
Kojo, if they win, I'm deleting the video.
That's what I'm talking about. Delete all evidence. I don't want to see it ever again.
The podcast has gone, man. We never spoke about it.
United are going to sit back. Maguire's back. He's not going to know what to do.
No, I actually forgot about Maguire. Now you said that has panicked me slightly.
Yes, your captain, you know.
He's fucking shy.
He's not my captain, please. Let's behave ourselves, please.
I mean, look, it could always be worse. You could always, I don't know, tell your fans to fuck off. Do you know what I mean? They could always be worse.
I don't recognize that player. Aubameyang's captain right now.
Oh, Oh, yes, Alexis, you love it. Alexis probably, what the fuck is going on in this show?
I love it.
Oh, God, I'm trying to think now because the Maguire comments rattled me. I'm not going to lie because I can't stand the guy. Because I was confident. Because you genuinely think we're going to get a clean sheet, Maguire, you wouldn't have rebutted that, or you're all right with 2-0.
2-0.
Oh, no, I think Ronaldo is going to deliver this game. And Sancho's finally found his feet. So I'm going to say, fuck it, 3-1 Man United as well. Fuck it, I'm backing it. I might as well say with Chaz. So there you go. What is it? 1 minute 15. I've gone 3-1. Baz has gone 3-0 Arsenal. Is there any other teams worth talking about? I mean, I completely forgot about Spurs' existence.
Wait, can I ask some questions about Arsenal?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
As Arsenal fans, and I'm not even sticking on you guys, are you proud of your board? Because your board, and I mean it in the nicest way, like your board actually did something that I think brave board. Like the fan pressure was so mad to sack Arteta, right? And rightfully so. But they evidently believe in this man. They gave him the money. And after you lost the first, I think it was first 3 games, no?
Yeah.
The easy thing would have been sack him, restart, get the fans back on side. Kind of results-wise, it looks like they're justifying the project because you're not going for star names. You're going for players that you can build. And like you said at the start, Cahil, I think this is a different Arsenal. So, like, are you impressed with what your board's doing, or do you think it's just luck?
Our board have no idea what they're doing.
No, but it looks like a premeditated plan.
No, but
Listen, let me tell you why. Because they have Edu there, and if Arteta doesn't work, Edu gets sacked. So Edu has to stick with Arteta, or else he's out of a job. The board have no idea what they're doing. That's the reason why they put Edu in place. And so they're relying on Edu to work the magic. And Edu can't get rid of Arteta because then they look at him funny. Like, hold on. We hired you to make the right decisions. And if the manager doesn't work and the players you brought in doesn't work, it's his head on the line. So Edu has to be stubborn and stick with the decisions he made and the fact that he's invested in the team to help Arteta. That's the only reason why.
Are you guys better off? Like, because honestly, like us looking from the outside, we can have our perceptions. But I think you guys are the inside, so you guys know what happens in your club day to day, basically. Are you surprised with where you are in this run? Or like...
I'll let David answer.
Like...
to try and risk not sound like a hypocrite, but I am going to sound like one regardless. Yeah, I'm very surprised that we're currently where we are. I'm very surprised that we're currently where we are. At the beginning, I didn't have any faith in Arteta. At the end of those 3 games, I didn't have any faith in Arteta. I think the obvious thing to do would have been the easy thing to do would have been to sack him. But then again, who comes to Arsenal? I want Enrique. I want a Roberto Martinez. They're currently not available.
Martinez.
Yeah. I want Roberto, mate. I said it, but when Basil was on last time, and he looked exactly like that. But it is what it is, Basil. That's the type of manager I want, but we're not going to get them right now. So the thing with Arteta is what's working right now is working. So it's justified that he's in that position. And to be honest, I've never been upset with what the Kroenkes have given us in financial wise in terms of transfer budget. They've given us quite a lot of money. We waste a lot of it.
Yeah.
We waste a lot of
72
it.
M's Pepper. Right.
It's not just that. I mean, it's Xhaka, Mustafi. I can go on the list of players that we wasted so much money on. We spent 100 million on 2 strikers in one season. Lacazette and Aubameyang.
Lacazette's been a fucking
Saliba. Like the amount of money
Saliba,
invested. Like, if you're not using it, though.
Saliba's very cheap, but I think Arteta is going to bring him in next season.
Hopefully,
I hope he is. No, for ours, because he's better than Ben White. But yeah, man, I can't be angry with the financial backing they've given us over the years. What I can be angry with, what Basil's alluded to, is the fact that they just have no idea what they're doing football wise, and that's the problem. That's why we're in the current position that we are in. So, yeah. That's my 2 cents.
And long may it continue. Listen, we're going to finish the show there. We normally do score predictions for the other games as well, but I think we all agree that Chelsea are scoring 5 against Watford, so there's not really much point in wasting time. Surely, Alexis, you're going to slap them 4-0, 5-0.
No, bro. Ever since Bakayoko had that performance against Watford, I hate Watford. Like, I think they beat us 4-1 that night. It was one of the
All right,
worst
chill out.
games.
Why are you bringing back 4-1 scorelines against Watford? You know? Traumatic experience for us by United fans, isn't it, Kojo? You know what? It's so
I'm not
funny.
involved. I'm not involved.
You know what? It's so funny because that 4-1 loss to Watford, in my head, right, I've actually processed that as a win because I got sacked. I swear to God, I'm not even lying.
Oh my gosh.
I keep thinking we won that game. Honestly, I'm not even joking. Someone mentioned it.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah, sometimes it gets like that. As a Chelsea fan, when Conte's second season, I stopped watching games. I've never done that in my like. It got to the point where I couldn't watch games anymore, bro. We would literally park in the bus against mid-table teams, and we would hit them on the break. We had Hazard playing false 9 with 8 men behind him doing nothing, and
that
Pedro
sounds
just
like a weekend, bro. Man, honest to God, fucking hell, Bruno Fernandes.
man. So it was just like it got to the point where I was not happy when we lost, but it was just like, all right, one step closer to him getting sacked.
Oh, mate. I mean, me and Kojo can relate. We'll just leave it as that. Honest to God, that 4-1 L.
Why do you keep throwing me in this, bro? I'm not involved.
No, Kojo, we can relate to that, man. Don't be silly, man. Don't be silly. But listen, it's
I'm not involved. I told you.
Oh, I can relate to it. Kojo don't want to relate.
There you go. There you go.
That's fine. I can relate to
Christmas
that.
beef. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Love to say. Yeah, love to say.
Yeah, you know.
We love you, Watford, for being here on my second team.
That's what I'm here for, man.
You planting?
I love Watford, man. They're
I'm eating plantain. That's what I'm eating.
Big club. But listen, that is the end of the show. Just wanted to say a massive thank you to everyone that is tuned in. If you do tune in for the repeat show, please do get comments in down below. Obviously, slap a like and follow everyone's socials down below. First and foremost, as always, Kojo, let the people know where they can find you, my guy.
Free Midfield Podcast on YouTube, Free Midfield everywhere else on the audios, on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok.
And also in Twitter Spaces singing John Cena.
Hey, yes, you love to say. Obviously, Cahil and Kojo do the Free Midfield Podcast. Obviously, they, basically you can find them together on the podcast Free Midfield. Alexis, let the people know where they can find you, my brother.
Peeps, you can find me on the Kafka's View. I do Chelsea content, so match reviews and predominantly just my thoughts on midweeks. If you guys want to talk football, more than happy to. I can't do a podcast or anything like that, but I'm happy to jump on others. So there's a lot of promoting other good content. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitter if you want.
Yes, love that. And last but not least, Basil, where can the people find you, my brother?
Yeah, you can find me at BJ14, putting my line on the neck, my neck on the line.
My line on the neck.
Oh my God.
My neck on the line with Arsenal.
Rewind, bro. Rewind. Start it all over again.
Why not DJ? Because we're putting my neck on the line with Arsenal having a sensational victory this Thursday. So you know where to find me when that victory happens and give me my congratulations.
Yes,
bro.
Definitely. Yeah. 1 minute 13 on the video. 1:13. That's where you can find it. Oh God! But listen, make sure you follow everyone's socials. Like I said, everyone's socials are down below in the description. Show love to all the homies. Regarding content on this channel, we have got a show tomorrow. Myself and Kojo are doing a tactics show regarding what Rangnick is going to bring to Manchester United, how it's going to benefit the players, and how some players, hopefully Maguire, never plays again. But anyways, apart from that, drop a like, subscribe to the channel. It's been your boy, man. Peace.